First of all, welcome to the Forge. Are you guys excited about today? Yeah, I missed you guys. It's been a minute. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it last week. My son is going away for college, so we drove out to Rhode Island. Thank you. And we were looking at colleges and dorms and all that fun stuff that every mom looks forward to going to. And then, triggers a bit of anxiety. It's like, oh my God, my son is not a baby anymore. But I'm back today, and today is going to be a very interesting episode. We're going to be freestyling. We're here to hold your hands. We want to know what questions you have, what concerns you have, what are your experiences. But before we go there, I have one question that I want all of you guys to answer. What are some wins or something that you want to be, known for, or something that you can't think of the word, but like, what are your wins? What is something that you want to celebrate? What is something that you want us to honor you for that has happened this week? Who wants to go first? Oh, Tori has her hand up. She'll go first.
I don't think I had I was like that. I did not have my hand up. I'd like to, nice try. I was like, in relation to what? In relation to AI? In relation
anything. It could be a small win, like I perfected a recipe. Tried a recipe for the first time. Learned how to ride a bike. Anything.
Well, I'm going to keep it to AI. And I met with Michael on Tuesday, and I was showing him what I had done to customize my doppelganger. And we went through some stuff, and I got it done. So first of all, it's like finally made the space to get it done, and then just with working with Michael, just making it that much better. It was a really good sense of satisfaction, and I've been using it now. And I still want to do little kind of nuanced things with it, but just the level of granularity on it, and just using it to kind of download what's in my head, and works with writing content or filling out applications, or I was able to really download a lot of stuff. And what Michael helped me with is I had like 10 documents, and then we took everything and over into Google Docs, which for some reason I just am not, it's not a habit for me to use Google Docs, because going through having to download it so that onto my desktop. Anyways, but the tabbing of it and the markdowning of it and going through explaining to me that. And then, so now I have something like, for example, transcripts, all the conversations that have been transcribed, which is hundreds of pages. I created in one document with kind of markdowns, and then just all my writing styles. So I did, 100 pages of like LinkedIn, email, and that's one document, because you only have 10 documents to really put in the knowledge, but the depth of each document is unlimited. So just moving things over. So going from 10 documents to 4 documents right now, but each of them like hundreds of pages. So that leaves me so much more space to continue jamming about me and things that I've done into it, to just make the outputs even that better. So that was a huge thing. I've been using it all week in terms of just job applications, and it's coming up with customized, like so specific metrics for customized like resumes and stuff, and that are true to me, because now I've got my personality in there, and I've got all of my history in there. And it's just been great. Like, it kind of feels like I'm just kind of deferring things over, but it's me that I'm deferring it to, right? So it's just it's a game changer. It's been great. So there you go. That was my win.
That's amazing.
That's actually a huge one.
Yeah. And did you guys see how she just lit up?
Yeah.
In her face and her tone. She just like lit up like a little kid. Isn't it nice? I'm proud of you, girl. Thanks for
Yeah, it's empowering to be able to do it, and it was just trying to get around to it, and then just finally taking the time to do it, and then meeting with Michael, and then just saying like, okay, and then again, just carving out that time to do it. I'm so grateful that I did that now, because it's one of those things, manana, manana. But now that I've done it, it saved me so much time. I wish I'd done it, earlier, because it was really has created a lot of value. So that's just to
And
add on to that.
it's awesome that you've done that because we're going to go into that really into some level of depth today, uh, and just really explore what that looks like.
And I'll add, Robert and I were at Growth Hacking Live. I don't know about you, Robert, but my energy's a little spent because I was running 17-hour days. I was up at 5 every morning. We have a AI talk show at 6 a.m. and then, yeah, and then hanging out with people. So this surprises most people. I'm a very committed introvert, but my goodness, 17 hours of on game, like game on, right, Robert? It's like
Absolutely.
There's no off switch. It's like up.
Wow.
10, 11. The last night was midnight, so that's like a 20-hour day. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Woof. So I have
Who else had a win?
I have dreams of finding out where my pillow is later this morning and catching up with her.
Yeah.
Are you home now?
Made it home yesterday.
Nice.
How about you, Robert? You're home, right?
Yeah, I'm home, and it was a wonderful experience. Also very exhausting. So as far as like the win that I would have is that I don't even want to call it a win. I'll say I'm going in the direction of having a win. And what I mean by that is whenever you consume a lot of anything, you have to take the time to process it before you move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some speakers that were basically saying, don't leave here, take something, pick it, and move forward with it right now. And I think it's a very, very hard thing for most of us to do, including myself. So I haven't moved forward in a particular area. But when you talk about these people that have been very successful in so many different ways, it starts to break down barriers. So specifically, one of the things that I was going to dwell on just a second is that I'll speak for myself, but I'm assuming it's most of us. We like ourselves. We think that we're very interesting people. We think that we have a lot to offer. Okay. But then you get to the point where someone smacks you in the face and says, okay, make a podcast. And all of a sudden you're like, who would want to listen to me? Well, what is it? People would want to listen to you or they wouldn't want to listen to you. So you try to overthink things and then you have analysis paralysis and you don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then this morning, right before the call, there was a news article. The news was on, and the guy was a pizza store owner, and so now he has just a regular. I don't know if he had a podcast or if I don't even know what format it was, but he was online now. And what he did was he did things such like this. He goes, we have a lot of stress in life. Everyone has a lot of stress in life, but you got to laugh at it. He goes, I'm going to show you what I've been doing and why I'm getting so many customers. And to me, it was just sheer genius. The camera's on him. He picks up the phone and, you hear what the person says. Excuse me, you open? And he goes, what the F do you think I picked up a phone for? Of course I'm open. Something like that. Right. Then he's walking through with a whole tray in his restaurant, a whole tray of water, trying to see a table of 6 or 8 people that came. And it's all there. And this other lady says, excuse me, we're ready to order. So all of a sudden he basically drops the whole thing. It all breaks on the floor there. And he goes, yeah, what can I get you? So it takes the humor in the stress that we have in life, and they married it together with technology, and now everybody comes rushing into his restaurant. It's amazing. So I learned a lot of things that I'm trying to put together with, how you consume information, the time it takes to figure out how you can make an action item, then realize the things that you think you could do, and then all of a sudden you get shied away because you think that you can't be on a podcast and yet or online in any fashion, and yet you could. So. But there was a bunch of stuff, so it was a very exhausting week. But those, I just tie it together that even when you get home, there's something for you.
The wheels are definitely turning for you, Robert. And that's amazing. Keep going with the momentum because something awesome is going to come out. This might be your way of processing or integrating. Everyone has their own way of processing information. And that's just maybe like the way your brain is like, boom, like something zapped or was activated. And now you're taking things from a whole completely different lens and filter. So enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
I love, isn't it a great feeling when you learn something new and now you see all of these possibilities that you didn't see before, and now it's like exciting. Your whole world has expanded, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Robert's come so far in 90 days.
Wow, that's right. Yeah.
You would have to understand the starting point to see where he's at now, to understand what he was just saying in that little story right there.
Yeah.
Because you can look back 90 days ago and it's like, I'm not even the same guy.
Now I have this shirt here.
Yeah.
Love your shirt. I need one. Coffee's the best. I haven't had my cup yet, believe it or not.
Oh boy.
I'll text my husband, ask him to get me a cup of coffee. Tanya, I could see how you're leaned forward and you're just like, I want to go next.
Oh, yes. I was thinking just that.
I got you.
Well, one win I guess I've had in the past week is that I was on a podcast being interviewed, and I'm in the publishing realm, ghostwriting and making my entrepreneurs a little more AI savvy. And so we were talking about that authors leave money on the table and so forth. We got to the subject of AI, and she said, we went off camera, so we were doing audio only at this point. She said, "Oh my God, you lit up when you started talking about AI and, bringing this into an author's world." And so, yeah, that is true. It does light me up. And I love podcast interviews anyway, because I have so much fun and I share so much knowledge. And that thing that Tori's talking about, and having your doppelganger, all that information that I do in all these interviews needs to be in that same level of energy, because, oh my God, when I get on a podcast interview, everybody's like, that was the best thing ever. So anyway, so it was a lot of fun, and sharing AI with people was awesome.
Thank you. And I agree. I could see how you lit up in your tonality and you got excited when you were talking about your wins, and how when you talk about AI and all, I just felt it. So thank you for sharing that. Bravo to you. And Lynn, how about you? I see you rocking your head. You're like, which one do I want to talk about?
Yeah, which one do I want to talk about? I think my biggest win right now is I got this little light up ball. It's only about that big, like a golf ball size. And it lights up, and it's got its little motor on it with a tail that entertains my cat until the batteries run out.
Oh, that is a win. As a cat mom, yeah. Hell yeah. Look, you got Michael excited and Tanya.
Yeah, y'all have no idea about cats.
Yeah. And then I found out this week I could order replacement poles for the scratching post. So now they have their own scratching post again and can save the house.
It's funny, for a second there, I thought you said I can order replacement cats. And I was just like, my mind went the wrong direction. But you said poles, and I'm like,
poles,
okay.
Scratching poles, yeah. I could use a replacement cat, but I can't order them online.
I'll send you one.
Okay.
He's got a
Well, so you had a GPT that was gifted to you. How did you have a chance to play with that any further?
Not yet. It's been kind of a crazy week, so.
Okay. Well, very good.
I am very excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna open some eyes when you start digging into that thing.
Okay.
Hey, so, Michael, when you speak today, could you bridge together what you are going to cover along with Tori's comments? Because she was talking about Google, she was talking about the number of files, and I think that might be interesting.
Yeah,
I always use Microsoft Word, and that was it until Google, and then you open my eyes to that. And I want to keep get more to that. It's kind of like, I'm at a convention there and I take the iPhone and like I'm ready to ask, well, give me a business card, and people just say, no, just give me your phone. They put it together and all of a sudden I have their card, and but that's another issue. Me trying to find some of these cards. Some had these cards that were, they didn't store into Apple, so I got to find them too. So there's a lot of technology challenges that I wind up having, anyway. But so if there's something on Google that would marry into what you're talking about today, that'd be great.
So that's kind of what we're going to go all into today, is Google and creating our personal GPTs. So I'm going to lean on Tori a little bit here.
And before we do that, that'll take us up to the top of the hour, and then often we get into after hours. And after hours seems to be where some solid nuggets come in at. And I'm over here while all y'all are doing something, I'm creating a pretty insane little prompt that I'll share at the beginning of after hours for those who choose to hang around.
Ooh.
A little teaser there, huh?
Just like the newscast. It's like, well, when you come back, we'll tell you about your favorite baseball team, basketball team, and then what the weather is going to be like tomorrow. So when you wake up, you'll be happy.
I hope it's at the top of the hour. The only reason I'm saying that is because my wife's going to kill me. We have to hop to head to a wedding, so I won't be able to stay in much in the after hours. But if it hits in the beginning portion of it, I think I could.
Yeah, very good.
Thanks, guys.
So anyway, speaking on Google, and Google Drive in particular is a great place to store your documents, your images, your presentations, all the various things that us as entrepreneurs, business owners, presenters, we all have. So all of this can be created in there. Was familiar with Microsoft forever, and you had this beautiful subscription that you paid for. And then you had to send these documents back and forth through your email that you had to pay for. And then all these various things, you couldn't collaborate in real time on the documents. You couldn't share them to whoever you wanted to in a manner that you felt protected and safe in sharing them. And with the advent of Google Docs and Google Drive for storage and Google Sheets for spreadsheets, it's no different than Excel or Word or Dropbox, except for the ease of sharing and collaboration. And you can take those documents that you're sharing and set certain permissions on them to where someone could only view them, or maybe they could only comment on them, or they can actually have full editing access to them. So if you're collaborating with someone on a document, obviously you would want to give them full collaboration access so that both of you could make edits and add and take away and make notes and comments on the documents or spreadsheets. So all of that is a great use point for Google Drive and Google Documents. Google Sheets, you can do the same thing in there. All the Excel, I call them algorithms. I guess they're called functions or something like that. Most of those all translate into Google Docs or Google Sheets. You can also set these various things up if there's changes made on them to where they send you a notification in your email. There's just a lot of different things. But one of the biggest things everybody really needs to be aware of is Google likes Google. Google and Excel, or Google and Microsoft, I promise you, they are not friends. And Google and Apple are 100% not friends. They have had many lawsuits and different things of that going back and forth between them. So when I say this, if you're trying to run a Chrome operating system on an Apple device is probably not the most compatible, right? But, you know, you can do it. It'll work. It'll happen. You may have difficulty downloading the various apps from the Google Play Store into your Apple devices because the Apple has their own store and they want you to use their products and services. Okay. So anyway, the Google Documents, NotebookLM, Gemini, these various products that we talk about this is one of the largest companies in the world. You know, they were, I believe Google was the first $1 trillion company. I could be wrong on that. I think it was either Google or Apple. One or the other was the first $1 trillion company in the world. Now, I'm not talking about hedge funds and management of different things or anything like that. I'm talking about an actual one company. Beautiful kitty there. So in using Google Docs, you're able to do a lot of various things. But one of the things that you can't do is draw those documents into your OpenAI custom GPT. Okay, they actually have to come from your file storage in your computer, which is very simple. But they've made it very simple to download the specific formats that OpenAI wants, except for JSON. Right, Tori?
Right.
So, and we went through this too, Robert, by going to our notepad inside of, you know, the Windows operating system. I don't know how that works with a Mac or an iOS or anything like that. I'm sure there's other ways. But we also found a workaround for that inside of OpenAI. So when you need to create your JSON files, and we discussed this, you know, plain English for instructions, Markdown for memory, JSON for functions or tasks that the GPT is going to do. Okay. Now, granted, you can write it all in JSON. If you can figure out how to edit that easily, then by all means, please do so. But if you want easy editability, these are the 3 different types of documents that you'll want. And Tori alluded to the Markdown earlier. We can create hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages on a document that is categorized through heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. I wouldn't go any further than that. Of course you can, but I don't think there's a need, and you start confusing the system once you get past a H3, a heading 3. And what that does on the same document, H1 is just an overarching category on that document. Okay, so we could just say writing examples. Well, what are some examples of writing examples? You could have your social media posts. You could break those down into various things, but you could have your social media posts. You could have your email. You could have your blogs. Whatever these you could have newsletters. You can have whatever these various writing examples would be. So your heading 1 would be writing examples, and your heading 2 would be these various subcategories. Then your heading 3, let's take social media because it's easy. So these are social media writing examples. Now you have writing examples for Facebook, Instagram, X, all your various social media platforms, which those examples would be underneath the heading 3. Okay, does that make sense? Is everyone following me here, or am I don't want to leave anyone behind on this.
Just go through the 3 in the example. Heading 1 is the overarching category of a document.
Yeah, that's a big, broad, 30,000 foot category.
And give me that give me an example.
Okay, so writing examples.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And
But
then
there's no content
underneath,
under that?
say again?
There's no content under that. It's only a subheading?
No, writing examples would be a head.
Right. So it's
Then a subheading of writing examples are what? Blogs, social media, email, newsletters. Those would be the next category down. So those would be an H2. Then underneath each one of those could be underneath social media, could be these are my Facebook writing examples. These are my Instagram. These are my LinkedIn. These are whatever. Those would all, H3 would be the category and then the examples.
I'm sorry for being unclear.
No, it's fine. Let me show you, and that may make it easier.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, what about my books? Is that an overarching writing
that would
thing?
be no, that would be another writing example.
So
that would be another category.
Under the H1, there's nothing but a subheading. There's no content.
That's correct. That's correct.
It's just another subheading H2 that breaks it down.
That's correct.
So my question on that was, why wouldn't you put the overarching category as your title and then H1?
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
Because, and to answer your question, Tori, because on that same document, you can also have, these are my, these are whatever the other things are that you're going to include. Okay. So you have writing examples, you have a bio, you have your resumes, you have all these various things.
But titled
that's the
that
high
about
level
me.
because underneath those have nothing to do with a writing example. Okay, a resume is not a writing example. That's your resume.
No, that's under a whole other doc. That's my about me document.
But it doesn't have to be. It could all be on one document. And then the H1s are just, this is the category, these are the subcategories, and these are the subcategories. Then you, on that exact same document, you could have writing examples, you could have, bio, you could have all these various things in your life. Now, I want you to think of this. Tori, you've been through this exercise already and you understand what I'm talking about, but I want you to think about it when you're building one of these for a company. Okay, so you would have the company. Then what would you have underneath that? The departments in that company. Then underneath those departments, what would you have? All these various subcategories for each department. So you would have H1, the company, H2, the departments, H3, the various things underneath it. So marketing could be in the marketing department. Now you have the social media people, you have the direct mail people, you have all these various things. And the reason why I'm saying this is because maybe you're creating a GPT for a company that every single person in that company needs to be able to call upon that GPT and say, what is my role and responsibility, so that they stay in their swim lane and they're not overlapping into somebody else's. Or I didn't realize that was in my swim lane. I thought someone else was doing it. So if we're all thinking someone else is doing it, that means no one's doing it. Okay. So when you're creating these various GPTs, you have to think about what is the memory. This is the memory of the system. So to categorize that memory to where the GPT can go down, the question was, what department is responsible for this? So now it goes down and it starts searching the departments. Oh, there's something, maybe two of them had the same thing. Okay, now it scans the subcategories of that department and looks for that information. Oh, it's not in this one, so it must be in, there it is. So it finds it. Okay, so the categorization of your content is very important. Now, going back to Tori's, she broke her high level stuff, her H1s, into different documents. That's not wrong. It's just different. Okay. She didn't have to do that. She just chose to because she had space. But if we're building out something for a company, you may not have that space. You may have 50 documents that you're trying to cram in something that only allows you 10. All right. So that goes into some other things. So is there any questions on the categorization of memory?
I had a question that was way back then, but I didn't want to. So you said Markdown is for memory, JSON is for functions and tasks, and I missed the very first one.
Plain English is for instruction.
Okay, that was it.
So let me back up to that. I'm glad you brought that up. So there's a character limit in the GPT builder. Does anyone know what that character limit is?
5,000?
1,600? No.
I thought it was 5,000.
I think it's
Drum roll,
less than
please.
that. The answer is
What is it, Rick?
I'm thinking it's like 8,000, but are you talking characters or words?
Fair enough.
Yeah. And so the audience is waiting, Michael. Please inform us.
So there's a 4,500 character limit in the builder.
Builder.
Oh, in the instruction box.
In the instruction box in the builder.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In the instruction box in the builder for a custom GPT.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Let's make that distinction. Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
Because I know where you're going. I don't think any of them are there, but I know where you're going. So yes. So let's say you have this massive set of instructions. You're building something not for yourself, but you're building something for a company that, say, has 5 departments and a couple hundred employees. Okay. So if you're building something for them, there's no way that you're going to build a comprehensive set of instructions with 4,500 characters. So what do you do?
Add it to your knowledge base?
That's correct. You build out your comprehensive set of instructions in your knowledge base, and you add that there. The instructions that you put in the builder are just very high level, simple instructions that point to that set of instructions in the knowledge base. If you have questions about this, this is where you go. Go to the document. But you're telling it in those instructions, you're giving it its broad scope of what that GPT is going to do, but you're telling it to review the instructions in knowledge for a more detailed, outline.
I have a quick question.
Okay, go.
What do you mean? Oh, forgive me. I stepped away for a second. When you say knowledge-based and custom instructions, would you say knowledge-based would be on when you're creating your custom instructions, it's on the left with where it says create? Is that where you put the knowledge base? Or when you say knowledge base, it's the file you're putting?
Yes, it's an uploaded file. That's correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
So all of your uploaded files, and I may use the wrong terminology when I say knowledge base, but that's what I'm describing as the knowledge base, all your uploaded files. So then we have our memory of the GPT, all the stuff that it's going to call upon, right? All this vast storage of knowledge that's probably proprietary, Tori, to Tori, or to Tanya, or to Lynn, or to Robert, or to ABC Company, right? So when you're building this out, this is knowledge that this company would use that is theirs, because ABC Company doesn't do things the same way as XYZ Company does. They have their own things. They have their own training manuals. They have their own SOPs. They have their own way of doing things. So you want to build it to where it's custom to them. Their FAQs are not the same as theirs. All these various things that go into this has to be ABC company or XYZ company or Lynn or Tori or Robert or Nabia or Tanya or Michael or Rick or whoever that is. It has to be them. And now you're seeing why the learning how to do your own. No one knows you as well as you do. When the door closes and the lights go out, and no one else is around, you know what you do. No one else knows that. Okay. So when you put that in there and you start asking it questions, you know if it's telling you the truth or not, right? These companies, it's no different. You have to be able to put that information in there that is exactly that company. So that's why designing your own personal one is so very important to understand, because this exercise rolls into every single thing else that you're going to build from here forward. Okay. And I know Lynn's built a bunch. I know Tanya's built a few. Go ahead, Tori.
Yeah, I think this is really important distinction. And I had to go back in my notes because I learned it at the end of our conversation and I think Rick might have been alluding on this, instructions that go in the GPT builder and then the instructions that you put in the knowledge, right? Because there's such that limited space. And I remember you explaining to me, when we were doing the JSON and just, I got so confused on the instructions. And you were like, no, point the instructions in the box to the more comprehensive and thorough instructions in your knowledge. And then just kind of, I wouldn't mind a little bit of a refresher on that or deeper granularity on.
Yeah, we're going to
So
go
what goes in the box versus what goes in the knowledge.
Whatever won't fit.
But okay, so if you had your little pile of Lucky Charms for the instruction box, why wouldn't you just say point to knowledge JSON and then put nothing in the instruction box? So what is that instruction box best use?
So that's a very fair question when you're building out the digital Tori. Okay, because you could probably put everything you needed to know, the instructions in that instruction in the builder in that box to handle Tori. But if you were building out one of these for Dell Computer Corporation, do you think you're going to be able to add all those instructions that you need in the builder?
No, and not even for myself, because I wanted to do so many tasks, right? I wanted it to be
tasks are different. Tasks are different. That's pointing to the JSON.
But that's those are instructions.
In a sense, you are absolutely correct.
Right. So I'm like, because I want one thing to be handled, like if I'm commenting on a post to be handled one way, if I'm doing a thought leadership, it's another way. If I'm doing a resume, it's another way. And all those instructions need to go into my JSON and my knowledge, but in my instructions,
but the instructions should be saying,
yes, you are my doppelganger, and I'm going to be using you for clarity of this. Right. Like the one thing, for example, is when you're doing like the resume thing is it started putting, and I'd already built it all in and I've got to go back and change my JSON because there's one thing that needs to be changed. And because JSON, when you're putting it in the knowledge, you can't edit it. Once it's in the knowledge, download it into the knowledge, you can't edit it. So you got to go back to the original and download it. But what it's doing is it's putting hashtags and asterisks. And I'm like, you cannot.
So hashtags and asterisks are Markdown, not JSON.
But when I'm getting the outputs and they're customizing the resumes, it's putting in asterisks and number signs. I'm like, you cannot do that on my output. So now I got to go back in.
It's giving you your response, and you can fix this in the instructions. You don't have to go to the JSON, but it's giving you your response in Markdown. Now, if your instructions, There's a bunch of converters out there that people could use. But if you change that in instructions, you could have it give you your response in JSON or any other HTML or any other language that you tell it.
And you can
something written?
accomplish that in the prompt as well. It does not have to be in your
Yeah.
instruction.
That's correct.
But now
That's
I'm
correct.
repeating it because it's for like every time,
But
because I'm
what-
too lazy
but
to go
you-
back. I'm just saying, you know, evaluate this. Do not put asterisks. Do not put number signs, just bullet points. And I'm
So-
Yeah,
having
just
to
tell
say
it to give it to you in plain English.
So now you're getting into context specific. You could back that up to your custom instructions for, you know, your settings, and say, please never deliver anything to me in Markdown. But you may want Markdown because you can now.
What I would suggest in that manner is deliver all my social media posts in this manner. Deliver all of my whatever in this manner. Deliver this in this manner. Anytime I ask for language for my website builds, deliver it in CSS, HTML, JavaScript. You could put that in the instructions. You could also create templates in JSON and add it to it and say, always refer to the templates.
Yeah.
So now you're starting to see how these instructions could get very detailed what you wanted your outputs to be. But if you're thinking about how yours looks, and now, I got to go back and I got to adjust this and this and this. If you're building one for a company, how many times are you going to have to go back and build this and this and this? You want to roadmap that out prior to that. So anyway, so we understand the instructions. We understand the categorization of Markdown and now JSON. Okay, JSON is the functionality or the different things that the GPT is going to do. Okay, now you could leave it up to it to make its own decision, right? Do it how you think best. Well, do you tell your children that? Run out the door and just do it how you think best. Well, they're in the road, they're eating dog poop, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff out in the yard, right?
JSON does a really nice job of creating guardrails, so long as what you create is nice and solid. I like to create assessment tools. I've created one that's the personal agency spectrum assessment. Left to its own divide or devices, it will go ahead, AI will craft something that will get you to the other end of the assessment. However, by building out the assessment tool and getting the questions finalized and formalized, now produce this into a JSON that I'm going to upload as a knowledge file. It asks you, Tori, the same exact questions it asks me or Nabiha or anybody who uses it. And that's in the JSON. You shall ask these questions.
I built it into the JSON in for resumes specifically. I put in my criteria, and then we created like different, if it's, fits my purpose driven this, and then if it's anything less than an 8 out of a 10, I will put the opportunity, and then it will evaluate it. It'll assess it on what we've determined, and then it'll give me a score. And if it's less than, we don't apply. And if it's greater than, we create a downloadable PDF with no asterisks, no number signs. And so but that automatically happens because I did it in assess it. And if it's a yes, and then why it's a yes, given those bullet points that we assessed it on.
That's a great tool. And you can convert your metrics to being red, green, yellow stoplights, right?
Yeah.
So these components are green, yay, yellow, you got some concern, and then red, here's why you have what you need to fix.
Yeah, I just go right for the green. Like I want green, don't want to mess with the other stuff. And then what was interesting is I went back and built in yeah, that fits, but it's not what aligned with how I am, purpose driven. So we built that back into that became part of the assessment, is to make sure it aligns with what I'm interested in, not just that I can do it.
So what's interesting here, okay, you're having the output come back in a PDF. So it's a standard output every time. Now you could put multiple templates in there in JSON. If I'm applying for this category, the template that comes back is this. If I'm applying for this category, the template that comes back is something totally different. If
Meaning
I'm
the
applying,
look, the visual.
it could be
When you say
the
template.
data that is coming back as well.
Well, I've downloaded several resumes because I can do several different tasks. So it is instructed
You
to
can template those resumes that you're creating. You can template those based on the category that the application is for.
Well, it asks, when you say
and this-
template, do you mean visual, at what it looks like visually?
Yes, the output.
Because it asked me if I wanted to have 2 columns or 1, and I just put in there,
Well,
choose whatever you think is the best one, because
No, don't let it decide.
as long as it's
Don't let
automated, ATS friendly.
Don't let it decide. That's what we're getting at here is you want to determine based on its decisions, because it's going to come up with this random bunch of crap that it thinks should belong on there. If it asks, what kind of car do you drive? Well, what relevance does that have to do with anything unless you're applying for a driver position? So if you're applying for a marketing position and it says Tori drives a green Pinto, 1972 green Pinto station wagon, there's no relevance to that. So the output for marketing has nothing to do with the reply of the question. Okay. Whatever that question was, I just used some off the wall example.
So I have it. So if it's
But if you were applying for an Uber position, it would say Tori has a 1972 Pinto station wagon. It's green.
No, so I have instructions in there.
Passenger side seats torn and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so it's in mind. The instructions are, if it applies for marketing, it has no other content in it other than marketing related. And if it's strategic partnerships, it has nothing in it that has to do with marketing.
So the output templates visually could look totally different. The layout of them may not be the same. Whatever all those look like. So yes, the template.
Well, that's what I was asking. The content has got instructions, but the way it visually looks, I didn't really care as long as it had those other instructions, the content of it.
Right. But you can clarify the order that the output comes back in also.
What do you mean by that, the order?
Well, maybe you want your name at the top. Maybe you want it at the bottom.
Oh, got it. Yep.
So name would go down here, and maybe you want your address or whatever, or your date at the top, and it puts it in the top left, but you don't want it in the top left. You want it in the top right.
Okay, so in that regard, my instructions are to follow a template they all get spit with my name. It's bolded, my LinkedIn.
So
that's all in there.
Consistent.
Yeah. 100%.
Every single time it comes out the same way.
That's what we did we did that on Tuesday together. So that's all in there. It all comes out the same way, my name, my information, and then the content underneath it is customized to that. Because what I'm doing now is I'm uploading the actual application and saying it has to be true and authentic, because I've had things where I'm like, I never did that before. What do you like? So
well, let's put this in the context of a company though.
Okay.
Yeah. Do different departments have different content that they output?
100%.
Does it say you're giving an estimate on something? Okay. Does one company have an estimate that looks just like another company's? Maybe it's a roofing company and a plumbing company. They probably don't even align with the type of stuff so you have these various templates based on these various companies that you plug into it, and then they're consistent based on the variables that are being plugged in.
Right. So like, for example, when I get a marketing job, I have a whole, it's kind of like kindergarten to PhD. It's got everything about marketing in it. And then we go through it together and we like, what do you do? What do I do? What do you want to do mañana? And I put that in. It's like a 12-page document. And so it copied because that's different from the resume thing output.
So listen at this in a little different angle. Okay. So you've been working on it for you.
Yeah.
But could you not, you have people that you do founders for funders.
Yep.
You have things that you do for marketing.
100%.
You have things that you do for your personal
leadership.
expenses, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever these various things are. So now when you're creating another GPT surrounding, providing a solution to that thing.
Yeah.
We're just a little shift in the way you're thinking about what you're doing for your GPT because it's personal to you.
Yeah, I'm using it internally.
These various things now, oh, they need this.
Yeah.
They need that. So we're laying the groundwork to thinking a little outside the box. How do I provide the solution for what they need?
Yeah. Yeah. So I did that with over preparing for a job interview. I was telling you this. I took Perplexity and I put everything in there about the company and the competition and everything. Then I put it into Notebook so I could have a language and a conversation with it. And then I created a customized GPT for them that would literally do all of their outreach, all their demand gen, all of their campaigns and everything. And then I was told I was overqualified for the position.
But that's their loss, not yours.
What's that?
So we only have a couple minutes left on this call. Does anyone have anything that question-wise? And then I would like to ask Tori to share what she's done in the backside of her GPT.
Okay.
I actually have a quick question. This is something I struggled with when I was working on a project. So, and you brought it, Tori mentioned it, something similar to it. So this is where my question comes in. I wanted to create something. So I went to NotebookLM to gather the data. And I think I spoke to Rick about it. And for some reason, I can't remember the answer he gave me. How do I transfer the data that I collected on NotebookLM into Perplexity or ChatGPT?
Do you want to answer that or do you want?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not necessarily designed to allow you to port information out. So, well, there are some reports and Michael's got some, anyway, the thing changes every morning. It's like I change my socks every day and so does NotebookLM. It changes what's possible.
And that's what I love about this stuff.
It's a wild ride. So back in the day, a week ago,
back in the day is a week ago. Yep.
Yeah. So what I would do is in the middle window. So on the left, you have your sources and on the right, you have like, draw me a diagram, generate a report, do these things. But in the middle window, you can interact and chat with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get your results, ask it to summarize it, build it out as a report, whatever you want, select all, copy and paste into a Google document. That's my route. And based on Michael, I'm thinking he's found some other little button you can tap.
So inside of there, you can take that center chat and convert it to a note.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can download the note.
Or you can download notes. Okay.
And you can also take your notes and put them back over into the sources.
As a source.
As a source.
No way.
Yeah. And then it becomes your go-to for creating the Middle Earth conversation.
Yeah. It's a very fascinating tool. I did not get into a couple of the other things, so we'll do those in after hours. But just real quick, Tori, would you like to share and kind of explain how you came about doing what you did in the back end of your Tori GPT? Okay, well, you gotta let me share my screen. I don't know if I can do that. Okay.
Done.
Okay, so this is probably need more help doing this
Probably
than I
going to
do.
run over just a couple of minutes. So I hope everyone
Okay,
has
hold on.
time.
So can you see my screen?
No,
Yeah.
Oh, you can or cannot?
No.
no.
Oh. Um,
Hit share one more time.
hold on. Yeah, let me. Okay, so I do desktop and share. Okay.
Ah, there we
Can
go.
you see my screen? Okay, so Michael, you might have to kind of guide me through a little bit of what you want me to guide you guys through. Which so
Just,
here's my
just, yep,
Google.
just the GPT.
Oh, the GPT.
Yeah, just the GPT.
Okay. So for myself, this is mine. Hold on, let me refresh. Do you want me to go into the editing part? Like, hold on, let
Yes,
me
please.
minimize you peeps. Okay, so here we go. This is my own. Oh, I just did that. Sorry, guys.
No. Just the drop down.
You wanted the editing to see the back
Yeah.
part of it.
So, okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can go there.
So here's all my documents, but they're all like not these ones specifically because I didn't want to actually take media kits. This is a more video. It's got a lot of graphics in it. But anyways, most of these are like a hundred, the writing examples are like 50 to 60 pages. Then I did a JSON. I'm going to change because this is an internal document for me. And instead of these, I'm going to have this one that says, um, assesses resumes, writes, social, like I'm going to change the conversations because it's for me to use, right? Um, but that's kind of, what else did you want me to show?
Can you show us what your writing examples document looks like? Because that's where I had the questions about the.
Okay, well, what I want to point out is you can't go into these once they're in there.
Oh,
You have to go back to your Google Docs and then
okay.
writing examples. So I can only get at them and edit them from. So here's LinkedIn posts. I don't know if I've amalgamated them all in this. These are all sorts of posts. And I didn't take all of them, right? Because I was like, my style is very similar. So I didn't take all of them. And then I have, and here you can see I've tabbed them, writing examples, and this is LinkedIn. And then this is a static one. So this is a LinkedIn post. It's just one and done. And then here's drip campaigns. So this is like, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I've got
So
client.
in this, be cognizant of how they're stepping in on the document tab side, because that's showing the various layers and show them where you change that, Tori.
What do
I
you
know
mean?
most everyone probably knows. So the heading,
Oh, yeah. So
so it's
you
right
go up
there.
here
So,
and
so
you just,
it so go back to that again for just 1 second.
yeah.
So if you think about your categories, heading is writing examples. Heading two is the various different kinds of writing examples. Heading three would be breaking it down even further underneath whatever that category is. And then you could do a four. I wouldn't go past three. Tori's gone to four here. It will recognize that, but it starts getting confused because it's going so deep trying to look.
Yeah, so it's really kind of three. It's LinkedIn post, then LinkedIn drip. So these are one and done. This is a drip, and this is just client approved stuff. And then I did blogs. So these are blogs I've written.
But you notice that's a H2 up there. See where she's got it, the H2
Yeah,
at?
it's back to H2. These line up.
And if you click writing examples, that will be an H1. To the
Um,
left, to the left. Yep. Click that. Now see it's a H1. So you can
mhm.
see how the categories are going layers deep
Mhm.
underneath each one. And she could put blog posts examples as an H2, and then you could have blog posts for marketing, blog posts for financial advice, blog posts for this. Tanya, you could have books, nonfiction, fiction, underneath nonfiction, financial, blah, 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 right? And these things just keep stepping in, not
Yeah.
necessarily stepping in for each book, but stepping in for each category.
Yeah. So it's just hundreds of pages of just stuff I've written in different categories. Is that what you wanted me to do? Michael,
Yep.
show that?
Yep.
That's very good. Thank you, Tori.
And then and then I just kind of go through what I did was I went through, as I was filling it, I went through my documents here. And these are all these clients I've worked with. And I just started like opening up my files and then just kind of bringing them over to writing samples and putting them in whatever category. Like I said, I didn't do them all because it would just take me forever. But it was kind of easy once I had a process for doing it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we did run a little long, and so Nabiha, anything you want to say to close us out on this part of the show?
I was just gonna do that. Yep. Thank you. I want to, first of all, honestly, for me personally, I think my favorite part of today, other than like the amount of information that I'm going to be taking notes on when I watch the replay, is watching you guys share your wins and how your faces lit up and how I learned, and I'm sure Michael and Rick can agree with me, how we learned so much about you guys. And like, we were there with you, we held you, we felt you. So congratulations. Thank you so much for sharing your wins. I've noticed that each of you guys have stepped out of your comfort zone, even if it's the smallest nudge. If you feel overwhelmed, a lot of it is going over your head. Celebrate it. Don't get overwhelmed. That means you're learning something new. And this concludes the official Forge. And now we are about to enter the after hours.